Okay guys, so for today's video, I think while I wait for more swaps to come in, so we can do another reveal later. It depends on when you see this video. I don't know if this is going to come out before or after the second swap reveal, but this is the Year of Craft Everyday Inspiration. So this is what I'll do for today's Freeform Friday. I have no idea what project I'm going to pick. If I have any links in the description box, those would be affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission if your purchase items through those links. Having said that, this is not available like on HSN right now. You might find it like on Crafter's Companion site. I don't know. Actually, now I think about it, they just had their warehouse clearance, didn't they? Also, during Christmas time, even though I didn't order anything from them all last year, I just had platinum points and so many because I was spending way too much money with them. I'm still a platinum member. They sent me like a $35 gift card to use, so I gotta use that. So I will have to pop on there and find something. But for now, we have this guy, and I think I did an unboxing where I kind of just went through the different items. So we have Baker's Twine, super cute color, these little dies that make like stitch lines, gorgeous ribbon colors, in 3 different sizes. There's usually about 12 to 18, I think 18 inches of ribbon on the little spool, you know. Acrylic stamps, the little swing, so cute, and the little birdhouses, a cloud stencil, there's sentiments, a little birdhouse template, card blanks and envelopes. And so this was an auto ship. I'm going to say that again because I know people watching there, how can I get it? I'm like, well, it was a Year of Craft auto ship, and I don't know. There's no other way to get into it now, but some little dies that are like silhouette dies, a little tree. You have that cute fence. I love the size of that die. And I went through all the papers already before, so what I'm going to do is kind of flip through this. I didn't put these in the binder. I have the binder sitting there, but I keep the magazines in with the box, and I think I need to rearrange that. One of my gals had said that she basically, when she gets a new box, she goes ahead and takes the books out, of course, puts them in the binder, and then takes everything out of here. So in the large box that we initially got, it's like dies, stamps, paper, you know, so she has it separated out, or however, you know, stamps and embellishments, or however, so that everything's together, because some of these do call back to like bringing things from the initial boxes, like these little scallop circles. So I'll have to go dig through my initial box, but if everything's together and you already know, you don't have to go look for issue 3, because I don't think they really tell you in here. They might. This looks cute. So oh my gosh. So I was thinking about making something like this for one of the swaps. I thought, okay, so people that couldn't find the cases or whatever, I thought maybe we each make our own little thing, and then when everyone gets them in, I'll make like a little holder for them. Anyway, that is really cute. So it's supposedly like handmade storage ideas, like card organizer, paper storage organizer, like it says birthday organizer, but I guess so you write people's birthdays down. How cute, a little trinket box. So I'm going to go through. That's cute. There must be a template in here to make this, obviously. Oh my gosh. Huh. This is cute. It's a little not quite what I was thinking about doing, and it's advanced. It says, where is this thing? Print the mixer template or use the template. Download and print the mixer template or use the template on page 35. Let's look at page 35. And I'm probably not going to do this. Well, I mean, I have a printer, a copier, you know, combo. I think this is what we're going to do today. Not quite what I wanted to do. I didn't think about it, but I think this is cute. And then I'll show you guys kind of what it takes to do something like this when you have to make your own template. So I'm going to print it out, like it says, download and print. So let's see about that. Let's go back to the beginning and see what they tell you. Okay, no. What's in your kit? Okay, turn to page 32 to discover more templates to create a variety of these templates. See, I just went to the beginning of the book because I figured they're going to talk about it then. And pattern papers and coordinating colored cardstock are also available. Oh, interesting. You can also print out more of the papers if you needed to, I guess. So I'm going to go to crafterscompanion.com/page/AYOC, a year of craft, basically. And I'm going to print out this template. All right, this is going to be a little bit painful, guys, because look at how you have to cut that. I mean, ooh. Let's see, trace on the template in the bottom right corner. Or use a craft knife to cut out the bowl as an aperture. Ooh, let's see how well I can do that. Okay, I'm going to go print this out. Okay, guys, so it does say to just cut these out and then trace around the template. You can do that. You can also just put this like on your paper if you can kind of eyeball it and push through, right? If you have a stylus or even a pen, you can write over it and it'll push into your cardstock. That's another way to do it. I guess I'm going to do what they said, which is kind of painful. A little bit painful, guys. But let me grab some scissors. Like, I can't even think of what to do. I'm like, I probably need smaller scissors. I think since we have to cut this one out anyway, maybe I'll leave that one alone. So yeah, I just went to what it said there. So I'm going to be very careful because if we're going to use this as a template, you want it to be pretty nice. I'm going to cut this out. Sorry if I'm out of frame. I think what I'm going to do is on the other one push down like I said, and we'll see how that works because we don't have to put this anywhere specific. We're going to cut it out on a piece of paper, right? So right now with this guy, and it looks like I am going to need, and I'm trying to cut right on the lines, and again, when you're fussy cutting, because that's essentially what we're doing here, pressure with the hand that is holding your scissors, so I'm applying pressure, you know, I'm squeezing the scissors, and this hand is moving my paper, because otherwise you do this kind of thing, well, you know, you might go like that and it's more choppy. So if you're just applying pressure with your right hand or whatever hand's holding the scissor, and turning it with your non-dominant hand, it just looks better. It'll be much smoother. Now here's straight across, so I can just kind of go like that. I like to remove the excess. And then I need to go grab white paper. What's funny is I was like, oh, this one doesn't have white paper, but somebody had mentioned it's because there's white paper in the first batch, in the first box, there's white paper. So I might fish it out of there. If anything, I'll just cut my own paper from my own stash. So it needs to have a piece of paper, 5 3/4 inch square. Oh, I was going to say, when I was on their website, there are 4 templates, I think, for this month, or for this box. And one's the car, one's the little birdhouse looking, or is it? Oh, I thought it was on the cover. Oh, you know, it's on the other thing, but this guy. And one is for this window. So you're going to cut that by hand. No, if you have a scan and cut, I guess you can put it on there and then have it cut. I don't know. But I don't know anything about those. But you can print out papers, which is actually really cool because if you need more of a certain paper, or however, if you have a really great printer, maybe take it to a printing place, you can print out more of the papers if you like them. And it's free, right? Even if you didn't buy the box, like anybody could do that. Download, you can download this. You can. I didn't download it, I just printed it. So I have that. I'm gonna get a 5 3/4 inch square piece of paper, and then we will go from there. I think these little flowers are from one of the very first things. Let me see. Patrick needs for backgrounds. Oh, I didn't even know that we were doing that. There's more stuff on here that I didn't realize. Trim a 6-inch square card blank from white cardstock and cover the front pale pink. Use the guide on page 17 to create a patchwork panel on a scrap of white cardstock. And use your template to cut out the bowl shape. I got something caught in my throat. That sounded really bad. So we're going to do this twice, actually, is what it's saying, because we're going to do that. But honestly, if you're going to put the thing, you don't really have to do the shape, right? I mean, you can just put the paper down. You're only going to see this through there anyway. I don't know. That's just how I feel about it. And then we're going to do this, and then we're going to top it with that guy. But it says use your template and a craft knife to cut out the mixer. Finish the card with tag and bow, and decorate the base of the mixer with flowers to finish. But it doesn't say where those are from. So I'm going to have to go look in my different kits, because they're not in this kit. Yeah, none of that stuff is in here. So I will be right back. You know what's funny? On this white piece of paper, they did stitching, faux stitching by hand. Hopefully you can see that. It's marker or pen. But we have these stitching guides, so like, why don't they just use these? I guess probably gave a different look and they didn't want to go with that. I don't know. Okay, let me get some of this stuff together that I need, like right now for this, and then we'll keep going on with our steps. As I grab the papers, they used a pink and a blush color, but the actual example shows like this burgundy color in the background, so that's what I'm choosing for the very background of the card on top of, you know, that goes under the white topper. And then the mixer, we have, you can do whatever you want, obviously you can go back and get whatever colors you want, but I'm using this pink color for the mixer. And then we need a few colors for the little stripes that we're going to use in the background. And they use something that looked like this floral print and some of the purples, like this guy. So I'll just pick a few colors, okay? Okay, guys. So what I did was I pulled out everything that I would need from that one box. I did cut down some paper. This 5 3/4 inch square. I haven't cut the other papers down, but like I said, I grabbed those certain papers. I did get a 6-inch card base from the kit, from this box. all these papers that we'll use. I try to match up whatever they were doing in the picture, just because it look cute. They do need the ribbon. They do need the sentiment from this kit. And like I said, you need the tag and things. So the tag was in the very first box, so the larger, 3-tier box. And it's a tag kit, but you have to make your own bottom part of the tag. So we'll measure these. You can use these different ways, but I'll probably measure it and then cut a piece of paper and then cut this off the top of it, So we'll get to that. And then the flowers, I was like, what flowers are there in the kit? So I pulled out the only dies that pretty much had flowers. And that is where these came from. So all these little flowers come from the first kit. They're in here. So they have like this little daisy looking one with like the center, the small tiny flower. And then the sprays come from over here, like this guy. Basically, tucked here and there. So again, like these accent colors, they probably pulled from that same kit. Like the little purplish kind of background probably came from that one. Like this purple flower, the peachy flower, So we'll see about that. But for now, we have those. And I already cut this guy out, and it says to trace around this in the bottom right corner. And, you kind of do need to know how big this is for that to put it in the right spot, right? You don't want it too low, because then, but at the same time, ooh, that's kind of, Okay, I'm going to eyeball it still. And then let's just pretend if this was here, it needs to sit on that little ledge. I'm just looking through my paper. See where that would be. It needs to be a little bit higher, just to give myself some room. Yeah, like in here. Okay, let's pretend even higher than that, actually. Let me move this so I can see this paper behind here. This is definitely because I haven't cut out this other guy. Obviously, if I already cut that guy out, even though the steps say do this and that, you can see your paper through here, I just want to make sure, like, where I put this guy, that this is going to make sense, like sitting on there, basically. And I don't want to get too close to the edge. They have it really close on the edge, but then you have to put your foam, you know what I'm saying? Why make it difficult for us? So let's move it over just a little bit. And let's pretend this is here, if that was there. And not making the foam too skinny there. Right here's a good spot. And so I'm going to trace it with a pencil, which I thought I brought out. Find another one. Okay, this guy. That seemed pretty straight, I suppose. So I'm just going to trace around this. A little bit, a little wobbly there, but that's alright. Okay. There it is. And you know what I would do though, actually, if you cut it from this, the back side, obviously you have to put it over here. And turn it over, it might look less rough. You know what I'm saying? It just depends on how good you are with a craft knife, which I am not that great, but we'll see. Not this little thing I found it Tuesday morning one time, and maybe I'll use that and have this help me hold it down. That might help, I don't know, we'll see. And I'm just gonna take a craft knife, hopefully this is ready to go. And I'm just gonna trace, or go over the lines. I know you don't see them very well because I did it very faint, because I don't like erasing lines later. I'm going to try to stay on the line as well as I can. Oh my gosh. Coming around this edge here. This is a little scary. Again, I think as long as you get the gist is what we're looking for. Turn that back. I'd like for it to be smooth, but I have a feeling I'm going to have like jagged edges. We can even check to make sure that we are actually cutting, because that's the other thing. See? I know I missed some. I can probably come in with a scissor on that afterward though, because I don't want to... Huh, that's weird. I do feel the mat all the way. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to continue going around, trying to stay on this as well as I can. Okay. Alright, and then just finish off this last piece. And I'll keep checking every once in a while just to be able to kind of come back in and fix that area, whatever it is. Ooh, okay, I'll be back. Alright, let's see how disastrous this might be. Let's see. Where is an eraser that's not gonna make this get messed up? Sometimes my erasers are old, so it makes it bad. Let me just erase. Well, that's as good as it's gonna get, that's all I'm saying. So, whatever happens here is what it is. Now, I can probably bring this in here and just kind of try to clean things up a little bit, like this little bit that's there. Okay. We're just going to have to pretend that that's good. Okay. There's that. And then it says to cut out the bowl edge with blue ink pad, which obviously is going to be an ink pad from your own stash because they don't include inks. So I'm just going to bring this out here. And yep, I did use the little Dollar Tree things to hold the inks. It's not cracked up to that great because what happens is either you have to dump it like this or pick at it until one comes out, because it's really hard to get in there even if you use like a tool to help you pick at it, like a pokey tool. So I'm going to use this, and ooh, let me see. I had my little ink daubers nearby. Well, I don't see that right now. Oh, that's yellow. I'll be back. Oh, there it is. I was just looking for my diamond press ones, but that's okay. Since I don't really have a dauber, I'm just, that's ready to go because I grabbed this. I'm just going to use this and go around the edges. Ooh, it says blue. It didn't say what color blue, really, so I'm just taking a very, very light blue. I'm going to go around the edges, okay? And I'll be back. So, you know, reading these instructions, it's kind of silly. I thought the next one was a 6-inch purple square that you're going to put on the card base. You know, that's fine. But no, it says to trim a 6-inch square card blank, just, you know, from white cardstock. Well, I guess that is the card. Okay, which is weird because it comes with a 6-inch square card blank. So anyway, they're telling you to make one, I guess, if you don't have it. And now that makes more sense. And cover the front with pale pink cardstock. Use the guide on page 17, blah, blah, blah. But as you can see in their final picture, it's purple around the edge. So it's not this pink paper. I'm going to go with the purple one. And I'm going to go a little bit smaller, kind of like they did. Because you can see it's not right on the edge of that white cardstock. So I'm going to take this purple one and trim it down. If this white card base is 5 3/4, or this topper, I'm going to go 5 7/8. Okay? On this, and I'll bring it down to 5 7/8. That's going to be here, just like they said. And this will be topped on there. Now through here is where you're going to see the little stripiness. I don't understand the point of making it the shape. That's just a step that's going to be not what I want, in my opinion. I can see why you would do that, I suppose, but I'm not going to take that extra step. So I'm just going to make the little strips. And it says to copy what they're doing on page 17. And on page 17 it says to cut strips that are 1 inch wide. Well, I guess we can do that. It seems like 1 inch is kind of big for this little aperture, but okay. So I have these 3 bits, and this one they have in the long ways like this. So I'm going to do that, that, and this one. And I'm going to cut 1 inch. I'm going to cut them all at 1 inch all together, even though it's going to cut those little hearts. And it's going to hurt my heart. Maybe I should have cut it off this side because the heart sticking out is kind of odd. But either way, okay, so we have that, we have this, we have this. And what I'm going to do is, I think before I glue it down, because if I have anything extra, well, nah. I'm just going to have these here, right? And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to cut these in half just to make them a little easier to work with. So I'm going to cut them at 3 inches, okay? Oh my gosh, you guys, in the meantime, I had to drop Miranda off at school, and I just had a brilliant idea. So first of all, the papers are 8 inches, so half is 4 inches. I said 3, I'm sorry. I realized that, and I remembered that when I came back here. Why do all that again when you already have the piece that you cut out, or even the template piece, right? So what I'm going to do is just stick these on here, and that way I know where I'm going with it. And then I'll know about the size, instead of putting this on a piece of paper and then tracing it with a template and then cutting out again, which is basically what the instructions said. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to move this down a little bit. So these are, like I said, roughly 4 inches. And then I'll use whatever extra I need because I know they use the flower page or piece twice. I'm trying to keep this mat nice and clean, so I'm not going to go right on here. Oh, come on. So the other day I was fighting with this particular glue because I don't use it often enough, and I wondered, should I leave it laying face down or, you know, head down? I don't know. Point this down or not. And maybe I should. I'm going to use this glue because it's a craft glue and it'll stay wet a little bit longer than if I was to use one of my other glues, right? So, like the Nouveau. So I'm going to go right at the edge here because a little bit further out. So I'm just catching that very bottom. And then I think they went to this one, which, sure, why not? And then this one. And then that very little corner still needs another floral one, which I have that little piece here. And that one's little because at first I was like 6 inches, so I cut it at 3, and then I was like, oh, it's actually 8 inches. Now, I can come around here and cut this exactly around that. Or we can just cut it down and get the gist of the size, you know. But I think I will go ahead and cut it kind of like what they had said anyway. Why not? Let's indulge them. So I'm just going around. I'm not keeping it too tight. I don't really care. Like I said, I don't even think this is super necessary. Now this one's coming off because the glue is still wet, like I had mentioned. So about there. Again, I'm not going to be super particular, but at least it's going to let me know kind of where I'm putting this. I think it kind of complicates things too, putting this underneath, because you have to put your card right where this spot is. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is if you want to leave quite a bit around it, I think I would. The only problem is when you get to the edge of the card, you don't want too much sticking out over here, right? This piece. Look at you guys. So we'll have that there. If I had cut it perfectly, I would just place this and then push this through it. But I'm not going to push it through, but at least I'll have an idea of where it needs to be. So we have that, and we have this, and I suppose we need to cut this little guy out. Let's try to see what that's about. Hold on, let's go back to the picture. Is that an accent piece? Oh yeah, I'm supposed to also cut out this little accent strip up here. We'll see. I may do that a little bit differently. But okay, so for now, a couple things. What I was saying before is I could put this on here and just draw it with a pencil or with a stylus, go around to make the marks. But on this one, we're not cutting it into something, we're just going to cut it out. So I might as well just fussy cut it. And if you're really good, I know some people would stick something like this down, maybe with some temporary adhesive on here, and cut both pieces at the same time, you know? But sometimes your paper moves and that ends up being problematic. So I'm just going to fussy cut this real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay. Just finished cutting that out. And now I'm going to trace it. And this is very painful. What I should do is, since that's a straight line, we'll just put that down here. So now we don't have to cut that. I always try to find like the easiest way to do something when it comes to this kind of thing. Again, I probably would have just used the stylus to push down, because that way you don't have to cut it and then cut it again. But and this thing, so I'm just going to trace it all around, and then we're just going to fussy cut basically, right? Cut the shape out. Oopsie. Come on, buddy. Alright guys, so I'm just gonna cut on the line as best I can. What's cool about that is that, you know, again, you want soft lines, but it's whatever comes out, because obviously people don't know what it looked like originally. So as long as you have the basic shape, I think you're good, you know? Again, pressure with your dominant hand and turning with your other hand. Alright, I'll continue cutting this out. And to make that little strip on the top, I'm not going to bother with this. It's just smaller than 1/4 inch by 2 3/4 if you measure it. I have this little 3-inch piece here, and so what I'm going to do with this one is just cut it to the 2 and like 7/8-ish or whatever it is. And then it's 1 inch, right? This is one of the pieces that we cut earlier. So on this side, I'm just using the little plaid one, but you can use, they use the floral. I'm going to go to just about 3/4 on my guillotine here, 3/4 inch, a little bit smaller than that because it's just a skinny little strip. And just going to do that. That way I don't have to go and measure anything out or use the template for that. That's about right. It's going to be covered up a little bit anyway. And if you want to round the corners, I was going to use my corner round, but this is so tiny. I'm just going to go around like this. And I'll do the same thing for the other side. Okay, and I'll be right back. So the instructions talk about things, they don't talk about things. I don't know where it really talked about. Okay, use your template and a craft knife to cut out the mixer, which I did scissors because it's just easier, at least for me. And stick it to the card front with 3D foam pads. It didn't say this part, but they did, if you really look at it, they went around it with pink ink. So I'm just going to grab some ink from this set. I don't know, this is kind of like a pinky red. I don't know. This is more coral. I have no idea. I'm just going to grab one of these colors. Yeah, that's good. And I'm going to go around the edges. And that also, inking, whenever you cut things, it just helps make it look less like harsh, So I'm going to go around all these little crevices and I'll be right back. A lot of things going on here. So let's glue this to this. Now, this only had 4 steps. Can you imagine? How many steps have I already taken? I think they try to simplify it so that way you just go from here to there. But, we didn't really discuss all this. Like that last one's like, add a bow and a tag and the flowers. It's like, okay. Sure. So kind of I've been doing my own thing anyway because some of this stuff just didn't make as much sense. Okay, so let's get all these pieces back. And the reason I kept this stuff out, I was going to throw it away, but some of the flower pieces look like they cut from little scraps, so I thought, okay, I'll keep those. Whew, all right. We have our card base. Now, you can orient it this way too, right? Just for fun. Yeah, let's do that. That way the person can stand it up like this. That'll be cute. I don't need this anymore. Okay. Now I'm standing up for some reason. I'm going to put this down. This is barely going to peek out the back, but if you want to put like some embossing on it, that'd be nice. But again, it's literally just like the smallest amount that's going to be sticking out in the background. So again, I cut this like 5 7/8 just to have a little bit, but they didn't really tell you what size to cut it. And then we have this guy, that's going to be like our little topper piece. Now, if you are going to, did I cut this a little bit? Again, I had to do this myself, on a guillotine and everything, so you're kind of, you eyeball the number a little bit. I feel like I should cut a little bit off the bottom, but that means I have to go back over it with blue. But I will take a moment to do that because I do want a little more of that purple to show. So I had cut this, oh yeah, I can see that. I had to cut this much off. Let me see. Should I go back over it with the blue ink? Where did I even put the blue ink? I'll be right back. I'm just going to go back over this with a little bit. I mean, it's the smallest amount of ink anyway, but I'll be back. Good to go. And then they told you to put this thing in the corner, or in this bottom corner. So again, I am going to have an idea of where that should go. But I am also going to, let's put this here. Let's pretend that's there. And if this is back here, I'm going to slide it in there. Again, I used a wet glue that I know I can still play with a little bit. All right, cute. So that's where that's going to go. And let's imagine this is going to be here to kind of fill up this space. Obviously, there's a lot of white space up there. This is supposed to be going to be on there. I think we're good as long as I put it right back like this, right? I mean, it has to be like right on. That's kind of why I didn't want to cut it down, because then it really cuts into what you can do. Okay, maybe a little higher up. Let's see here. The smallest amount more up, if I can do it. I can. Okay, there. Okay. Just about there. And a little more to the left. To the right, sorry. I should have just left it a square. Like I said, I don't know why you want to cut it down so specifically, because then you have to really line the thing up. And it's not my favorite. It's not too bad, just a little bit. Good thing I used this other glue. Oh my goodness, come on. Okay, just a little bit more this way. Yeah, that's not my favorite. Okay, there we go. On this one, we're going to line this up with foam. So basically the whole top, just because you need it to be a nice panel. And, you know, all around here. And then you're really just going to put some foam all around this, because you don't want to have to put extra glitter to fill up this whole area. If you just put a big square. Oh, hey, guess what? What about the acetate? Oh my gosh, I'm telling you. That'd be good. Okay, let me... A lot of times I have acetate, I just slide in here, but of course I'm going to take a minute to find it. I will be right back. So, I'm just eyeballing this, not even trying to make this in any way scientific. Maybe a 4-inch square? I don't know. Alright, well, let's glue that down. That is so funny. I was like, not gonna work. It's because I was following the instructions and I stopped following them when they didn't make sense. And this was in step 3, you guys. Step 3 is to add this and to line it out and all that good stuff. And to put your little glitters over here. Alright, now I'm ready. So, we're just gonna line this guy out. And you always want to butt up your adhesives so you don't have any gaps. And I'm staying away from the little edge, not too much, but like maybe an eighth or so, a 1/16 of an inch. I'm going to end this one here, and then when this other thing comes around, that'll catch it. So remember, this is really what's going to hold the glitter down. So this little gap needs to be closed up for sure. And then from here, I can just, you know, finish this up. It's not a big deal. But for sure, this needs to come in here and touch that area. Really needs to butt up right there. Okay? And I'll just finish this off, put a strip here and put a strip here. And I took the carriers off. This really drives me nuts. I wish I would have just left the square like I had initially wanted to. But that's okay. Let's see what this looks like. You know, you're going to see in there, not my fave, but that's okay. Alright, that glue's coming out the front, because it was in between, obviously. We'll clean that up later. Okay, so I already took the carriers off. So in this step 3, it was to put your acetate, put the foam, put some pretty stuff in here, and then obviously put it on top. And so I have this little pink tutu Nouveau. This isn't the biggest area, so I'm not going to put too much. Also, I have another idea of something else I want to put in here. So just a little bit. You don't want to put too much in shakers because then they don't shake. A little more than that. You know, consider the area, what you're trying to cover. And then I'm going to cheat a little bit because I already have some of these. This is a swap. This is purple and they have blue, and supposedly, you know, the blue and the purple and all that stuff's in here. So I thought, why not? Along with the pink and white. So I'm going to take a moment and put some of these little guys in here. Sorry, yes, I'm cheating because I'm already using my goodies. I think that's it. Like I said, you don't want to put too much because then it doesn't shake, and then what's the point, you know? Alright. So thank you, Joan. Alright. Again, I try to lay them down flat already just so they don't get stuck behind other things. Ooh! Guys, I'm going to have to bring this closer to me, but basically I'm going to line this up over the top, okay? So I'm sorry, I really need to look at it, or else this is going to be a real problem. Let's see here. That's probably as best as I can do. If you were going to put those little stitch marks, I would have done it before I put this on here, but I always like to flip it over and give it a really good squish from the back. Aww, that's cute. So, I mean, I usually don't take the time to fussy cut and do weird stuff like this, but as you can see, the very side of the bowl, that's kind of why I was like, you guys don't do it. Don't cut it smaller. I would just leave it like this much paper around and then stick down that rectangle of paper, you know? So then we have this guy. Are you going to stick him down completely? Do you want to pop him up a little bit? You know, that's up to you. I'm going to stick it down completely. And we still have to make a tag and a bow and all the flowers. I was kind of thinking about cheating on the flowers. I was like, maybe I should just put some paper flowers that I already have like in my stash. But, I will. Ugh, I don't know. Actually, I'm really torn with that one. I kind of want to be done with this project. Okay. And we're putting it so that the little turntable, the little bowl is on that. Cute. Not bad, you guys. Not bad. Okay, so the tag. It looks like... I guess I'm going to make the tag first. Let me get the dies that have to do with tags. And then it looks like they used this one. So let's measure that one. It looks like a couple of inches or so. It was so funny that they're on Temescal Canyon, I said that funny, Canyon Road in Corona. Because I pass by there whenever I go south, or north, should I say, sorry. Alright. Oh, I have a whole piece of paper right here. Do I have a smaller? That's fine. Let's see how big this is. Now, of course, I've seen Sarah run things through like this. She'll run it through and then cut the die shape, you know, the rest of it, but I rather cut it down and then cut this off of it. So it's 1.5 inches. So I'm going to cut a piece of strip that's 1.5 inches and I'll be right back. I used earlier. We're going to bring back these sentiments. Oh my gosh, my work surface is such a mess and I got to clean it up for the swaps. It looks like they also did some blue inking on the tag. They didn't really talk about it. They just said, do that, stick the card front with 3D foam, which I didn't. I just stuck it down straight, but they said stick it down with 3D foam. Finish the card with a tag and bow and decorate the base of the mixer with flowers to finish. So however you want to do that, apparently, because it's all this one thing. So let's see. May your day be filled with love and happiness. That's the one they used. Use whatever you like, of course. And, oopsie. I'm going to use that same color, hopefully, that I used earlier. I'm going to try to do it just once and I'll have to try to get that going again. And I'm putting it down over here, trying to center it with the 1.5 inch width. Pretty good. Let's see if I don't get it, I can just flip over my paper or go to a different area of it. Okay. And oh my goodness, you guys. Things start piling up and it makes it harder to do anything. We have this guy. Again, this is from the very first set. How close did they have it to the words? Okay, it's like right on, like in here. Okay, and hopefully that is straight. And then I'll cut off the bottom part of it as I see fit. So I'm going to glue that down. I'm going to run this through a die cutting machine and I'll be right back. Alright, that's pretty good, you guys. Super cute. And then they cut it right at the end of the words. It's a little bit crooked the way I did, but that's alright. Probably don't put this on top of your project. Okay. And I mean, this part's just whatever. Cute. Okay. And then they went around the edges with the blue ink, so I'll do that again, all around this edge, and I'll be right back. Okay, so we have that, our little tag that's going to be like in here somewhere. And then they said to add a bow, ribbon bow, so they didn't really say how to get that done. Maybe that's in a different one of these books, and I don't even know which ribbon to use. It looks like the skinnier one. Maybe it's this one. Probably, yeah. And I'm gonna make a finger bow because it doesn't really say, and it does have 2 knots, like 2 ties, and it looks really, really cute, but I'm sure they did it however, I don't know, with one of their contraptions or something. So let's do that. And they did leave quite a bit of tail, and then they, like I was telling you, it's about 18 inches of this stuff. Let's take that off of there. They left quite a bit of tail, so I'm going to leave some tail so that way I can cut it down. And then when I do my finger bows, I leave that there. I go over both my fingers, in between them, up, under, and around, or behind my middle finger, back over my index, bring it back over here in front. And what we're going to do is finish off the loop and then tie this off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it since it's only a small piece anyway. Finish the loop, back around, go across everything, and push it through your fingers. And, I mean, you can arrange it. It looks like, because this has a definite front and back of this, you know what I'm saying? The little satin. So that's kind of a bummer because the bow's not going to look the same in both spots. But this is how I'm going to do it anyway. Kind of a bummer. It's not double-faced. So we're going to push it through here. And I suppose if you want to make some weird twists as you're working, let's see. Let's do that again. Yeah, because see, I would have to twist it to make it the same here. Let's see what that looks like. Twist it again to make it the same there. Twist it back. And when I come over here, the satin is facing, which is nice. Going across everything. And then we're going to pull the bow. I've never done this. And then we're going to push it through that hole, that strap that you just made. Where I'm twisting, twisting, twisting. So let's see what that looks like. Hey, it's actually very pretty. All right, that works. You guys, we're learning all kinds of stuff today. And I just pull it tight, basically. And now at this point, I can kind of see where I would want to cut it off. Let's cut it. Oh, no, nice. There we go. Take this off my fingers. Wow. I mean, this part of it is not going to be great, but look how cute. That twisting actually made it pucker even prettier, right? Maybe that's a step we need to add. Okay, and to make these dovetails like they have dovetails, I'm just going to put this together like this. And maybe I'm going to use fabric scissors since that scissor wanted to fray. Oh my gosh, guys, I thought this was going to be a quick video. And then we just go at an angle. Oh my gosh. Ah! I did not like that. And then, get one of my little lighters. It's so funny, I was going to make a bow video today and I thought, I better not. And I end up working with bow stuff anyway. Just bring that lighter close and it cinches the edges so that they do not unravel. I'll do the same thing with the other side. Okay, so cute. It's going to be in there like that. Cute. And now we're supposed to cut a ton of flowers and things, which I am like pretty much done. But it's okay. We will finish it up and it'll look lovely, I'm sure. So let me find those dies. I probably should have grabbed them while I was paused, but I didn't. And I'm just throwing everything. I do not like when I end up working like this because there's just stuff everywhere. Okay, so with this guy, in the pictures, they have like this light pink that's in the kit. You know how I showed you those two different pinks? I went with the more coral one. So the light pink, they cut out several of these. So I'll probably do the same. They have 3 of this from the light pink paper that's in the kit in this particular box. This centerpiece, they cut out from like one of the papers. So I'm going to cut it from this. Like whatever little scrap I have, I just need 3 of them anyway. So whatever scrap that I have with the little flowers, I'm going to cut this little center out. And then the little tiny guys, these guys, they cut from the purple paper, which I have plenty sitting here. So I'll take like whatever small piece I might have and cut out. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think. So I'll cut out 5 of those. And then I will look to see if this box has light green paper. If it does, I'll use that. But if it doesn't, I'll go find some light green paper and cut out several of these. It looks like they did 5 of these. Okay, and we're almost done. So I plugged in my hot glue gun because I know I'll need that. Try to clean up just a little bit. So we have some flowers that are going to be stacked on top of each other. If you want to put some movement in these, you know, go for it. Usually with something like this, I'll take like something rounded just to give it a little bit of, you know, something simple. And then I'm just going to put a little glue. The hot glue, I would use it for this, but there's no point. And then this little guy. Again, if you want to do some rounding, just take like something, what do I got? It doesn't really matter, but if you have a piece of foam or something, but just, I'm kind of pushing in the center just to cup it a little bit. It's probably going to flatten out anyway, so I'm not too concerned. And I think we're going to put some Nuvo drops in the centers. So that's 1. I'll do the same thing for the other 3. These little guys are just going to be there. So I don't really have a lot of shaping to do, but I'll do these 3 and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm going to keep this in front of me just so I can kind of see kind of how they did it. Doesn't mean you have to copy that, obviously. You can do whatever you like. But I'm just trying to see as far as the styling of it. And this little guy is here. I like that they did take the time to put those little stitch marks, and it's not in the tutorial or in the words or anything like that, but it looks cute. I'm trying to see if I have something to do that with nearby that's handy. I don't really, but I think that's what I'm going to do. These Cricut markers that I used this gold one the other day, and I think what I'm going to do is put a little bit of that stitching. And they just did little lines. I like to do sometimes like lines and then dots in between here and there, but if we're doing stitch lines, then we're just doing stitch lines. So I'm just going across the very edge, and you know what, I'll take a minute since this hot glue, I don't think it's ready anyway, and I'll go around the surface of the card too. Okay, and I'll be back. So I just finished that. It's just a gold pen marker basically. And yeah, that does so much. It's just that little something else that was needed here, you know. So this is kind of like there in the picture, and that is there. Their bow's a little bit smaller than mine, but okay. Whenever I do something like this too, I like to give this a little bit of a curve or something just to kind of give it some movement. Oh no, I don't want glue all the way back there. That was not good. Oh well, what are you gonna do? Let's pay attention to where that is. Just about there. And this guy, actually there's enough hot glue, I think, to also hold this guy on there. And I'll have to clean up this little hot glue. So I don't usually mess with hot glue while it's still hot because it'll just leave strings all over the place. So a lot of times I'll come back later and clean that up. But I'm so in love with this little bow that we made. Alright, who knew twisting was going to add a little something? Okay, now as far as this part is concerned, I don't know that I need hot glue for this, but I can see that they did tuck in some stuff behind because they had done dimensional foam, you know. So I'm barely putting a little bit of glue because I might tuck things in behind there, and I don't want to do that in a way that impedes other things from coming in. Like they had put this in there, and they let it free float, kind of like I do sometimes with leaves. They kind of just tucked it in there, free floating, more like this way. Let's see where the other ones are. Gosh, this is kind of hard to do. Hold on. This one's here, and this one, again, some are kind of coming out from behind the machine, which is fine. So like in there, I'm gonna put this down next because it was hard for me to tuck the other one in, even with the little bit of glue that I put. Okay, so let's put those there. And then this guy is like right here. And then I'll just put a glob. I like how each time I do it a little different. This one had some going this way, and some going this way. Ooh, got my finger on that, of course. Actually, it was more like this. And then this little guy, like right there. And then we're gonna fill it all in with these little guys. So I didn't really do much with these guys, but I will put the glue on them and then place them wherever. They had placed one like there. There's one like over here. So I'm gonna take a minute just to place these last few. Just put the glue on there and then place them down with a little bit of movement, if I can. Okay, and there's a few more like in this area, tucked behind, and then a couple more. Plug my hot glue gun. This is what we got. Nice big card. That's really cute. I mean, I don't do things like this. I haven't done things like this in a long time because back in the day we used to only use templates, right, and cutting things, and that's why dice came out and Cricut and all these fun things. They did use like pearlescent drops. I just have this white drop that I thought would be fun, chalk stick, and it's just kind of dry. And they finished it off, and they didn't mention this in the instructions. Excuse me. But they just kind of added some dots here and there. And how I make different sized dots is I squeeze for longer or less time, right? So like I made the larger one squeezing longer, I made the smaller dot squeezing a little bit less. I'm going to take this and put it in the center of the flowers, some a little bit larger. Again, you don't touch the paper, you're kind of floating over your paper. some a little bit smaller. You can definitely even drop a little glitter on them if you want glitter to stick to that. That looks cute too. Had to be careful, the hot glue was coming through that little circle in the center. So it might interfere a little bit with my drops. They even put them on the ones in the back, so that'll be a little bit more difficult, but I'll get it done. So I'm going to pop some glue back there. I have a little hot glue there. Did I say glue? Sorry, dots. And maybe behind this one. And when it dries, I'll push that petal back down. And it even has dots here and there throughout the card. So, like right here, a little here. Again, if you don't want to take a moment to do this, you can use half pearls or whatever it is that you would like, of course. There's some there. I'm just kind of following along what they're doing. Oopsie, I did that one not too great. I'll fix that. Yeah, I'll continue adding drops here and there. I'll have some images for you guys. Of course, the drops are still going to look wet because I just squeezed them out right now, but these are a chalk look, basically, so they'll be matte and like chalky looking when they're dry. But, oh, they also added some pearls right here, so I'll do that too. Probably for my diamond pressed pearls, okay? So I have some images for you guys, and that was a definitely freeform Friday. I mean, we did everything basically from scratch. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye now.